Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Today we're just going to be messing with the Cub, and the project at hand is this flat tire. So I'm going to get some of my tools out and we're going to take a look at it, see if we can't see what's going on. The first thing we'll do is just jack up the front and spin this tire around, see if we can find anything wrong. With the tire off the ground, now we can rotate it and look to see if we find any major flaws with it. And we're looking for thorns that may be sticking down into it, nails, screws, that kind of stuff. These tires are relatively new. You can see by the molding tread on the center. So there shouldn't be any real flaws with it. The biggest thing we'll probably have is, I see a puncture right here, and I can give you a close-up on that. But I'm not seeing anything else on the main tread. There's that one right there. I think that's the same one. Yeah, that's the same one. Look at the sidewalls. Oh, the sidewall looks good. Check this one. Yeah, so the only thing I see really is this hole right here. Let me get you a close-up of that. You can see the hole in question. The other thing it could be is that because I've been running these for so long, it's not a pinched tube, because that would have happened a long time ago. But what it could be is the valve stem. So I'm going to go grab the air compressor and pump up this tire, and while I have pressure in it, I'll listen and I'll look for leaks. And I'm just going to use this cleaner that's got soap in it. It's bubbling up. You could use Windex, that's what I was looking for, but that was what I found. So I'll put air in the tire, we'll spray some over this, we'll see if we've got a leak there. Because it is a tube, it could be somewhere else that we're not seeing, but chances are that's it. And we'll also spray down the valve stem to see if that's leaking, because that could also be a problem as well. Alright, our suspected hole is here on the top, and I've got some air pressure in here, I think like 60 pounds. So what we'll do is we'll hook up some air to this. Alright, that's 20 pounds in there. I'm listening, I can't hear anything. And that's our hole right there. Not seeing anything coming out of it. Let me give you a close-up and take a look. Yeah, so nothing there. We would see some sort of bubbles, but everything that's popping up on there is just from spraying. We can go along the entire tire, wet it down, and see if we can see anything coming up, but we didn't visually see anything before, so there's nothing suspected. Let's check out the valve stem now. Alright, now we're down here on the valve stem. Let's see if we can spray this up. And yeah, I'm not seeing anything. I'm wondering if we actually have a leak now. Huh. Alright, well, next thing to do would be to air it up and see if anything comes out of it. We can check around the bead on the top and see if we see anything that way. Let's give it a little bit more pressure. After looking over the tire, I can't find any obvious defects with it. The only thing I've seen, I'll try to show it to you here, is when I spray some cleaning solution onto the valve stem base, you'll start to see bubbles popping up. So our leak is really slow. I don't know if you can see that bubble forming there. Now that could be air escaping from around between the tube and the wheel or in the tire, but the rate that that's going, that kind of leads me to believe that. So the fix for this, we could take the tire off, look at it, and look at the tube, see if we can find it from there. But the way I'm going to fix this is going to be just to dump some slime in it. So let's go get a valve stem puller, a bottle of slime, and throw it in here. Okay, first thing we need to do is take out the valve stem. The valve stem is this little check valve that's in the inside of your valve stem. itself. And to do that, sometimes the slime containers come with a little valve stem puller on the cap. This one doesn't have it, and usually they're plastic, so you get one use out of them. I've got this fishing tool that's also got a valve stem puller on the top. You can see it right here. And all that does is thread right into our valve stem and takes the core out. I can demonstrate if our valve stem was leaking or if we had a big hole. I can demonstrate that here. You can hear the air escaping, but if we were to spray soap on it, you can see the bubbles coming out of it, and that's the telltale indicator. Sometimes stuff gets jammed in there. The valve stem core will get bent, but you can usually just tighten it back up. But in our case, we're going to take it out. And it might be kind of hard to see, but there's our valve stem core, and you can see how it interfaces with the valve stem puller. All right, we'll set that aside and not lose it. We got our slime here. I'm just shaking it up to throw it in there. Okay, upon closer inspection, the bottom of our slime cap at one time did have a valve stem core puller on it, but like most tubes you'll run across, they're old, corroded, and then these plastic ones break. So that's why I had the metal one. That, and it's also for pulling the tube through. With all the air out of our tire, we could take our little tube here and stick it on our valve stem that has no core in it. And for a wheelbarrow size tire, which this is approximately the same size, it's saying 8 ounces. There's about half of this left, so we're just going to use the rest of it up in this tube. Stick it on there, and then give her the beans. If this wasn't a tube tire, I wouldn't be using this, but you can see that there's little particulates of rubber inside the green goo, if you will. And what that's going to do is find any holes, patch them up, and then when exposed to air, I think this stuff becomes like a tacky substance, and then it fills it up. The holes, that is. Now, if we ever went to patch this tube, we'd have a heck of a time because this stuff and sealant don't go very well together. But I've had really good luck with these in four-wheelers and motorcycle tires, off-road situations. So the slime's in there, and let's put our valve stem core back in. When you put these in, there's a little threaded portion right there at the top, and that goes to the top. It's kind of confusing because there's a pin on this side and there's a pin on this side, but just watch when you take it out. There's a little T at the very top here. T is for the top, and we'll stick it in just like that. We'll take our little valve stem core puller, put it on there, and tighten it. Doesn't take a lot of force to get this back in there. You just want to twist it with your 2 fingers until it snugs down. Okay. Now all of our slime is theoretically at the bottom of this tube right now. And so what I'm going to do is rotate this to the top to get over top of this valve stem, just to secure it in there. And that, my theory behind that is, well, it'll drip down onto it, kind of seal up any of the little holes, coat it for whenever we put the air in. Okay, speaking of the air, let's fill her up. There, 20 pounds of air. And then we can take this for a ride, let it set for a little bit, check tire pressure again, see if that fixed it. The driving it around, that'll spread that slime around, get it just moving along in there. So that's basically how you patch a hole in a tube with some slime, guys. Hope that helps. Check back for more. We definitely got more videos coming because, as you see, every time I fix one thing, another thing pops up on this Cub. So, as always, thanks for watching.